Oh no. I was hit, I was slapped, I was abused, I was victimized, I was hit. I was hit. And welcome back to my channel. So in the comments when I played England Exchange, someone wanted me to play this game called Seduce Me. Like England Exchange, unless I don't get a lot of feedback, I don't know if I'm going to continue it, but I thought it would be cool. So here we're going into a new game. I don't even know what this game is about. So obviously it says this is a fictional interactive narrative. Any character resembles to real life people are purely coincidental. Also, please know that the following game is made for PG-16 audiences. Please know that sexual/violent themes are explored in this game. Trigger warnings, abuse, implied rape, and suicide. You have been warned. Please enjoy. Oh my god, they're speaking to me. My name is... Can I actually be Mika? I think I'm a girl in this one. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as Mika. Okay, I heard you! I'll keep it as Mika. That's interestingly scary and creepy. They're so weird. Somewhere. Hold on. Turn on so you guys can actually hear the game. Ah! Oh my god, we've already been shot. Oh my god.
Come on! Is that all you got?
What is going on?
Wanna try me, asshole?
What the fuck?
Crap! Missed.
Let's retreat for now.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
That's right. You better run, you stupid punks! Stay out of our territory!
Wow. Call it fate or call it coincidence. That one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory. It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketers, though there are some discrepancies that are now corrected with the modern viewpoint.
Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here, but it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Personally, I love the sound of it. The way the raindrops fell, like the soft tapping of fingers, it was so soothing. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass of the window was strangely calming. For this reason, I felt lucky for having a seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention in class. Every anime character sits next to the window, by the way. Just thought I'd let you non-anime watchers know. The lectures in class were pretty boring. Mrs. Phillips' voice wasn't sporadic, but... Alright. But I just wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could do was think about doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I didn't really care much for economics. Sure, I had good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbook and did my assignments I had to do. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably have taken another course. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after the semester, it would mean the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. I didn't hate high school. It was just kind of mundane how the days drifted on and as if there were no end to it. And the only thing that I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them, but that was kind of it. In short, I was done with high school. The start of the second semester brought a note of finality to it. I had already applied to many universities the semester prior. I was expecting to reply sometime in the few months. It seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. That is, if things could change. I stared at the faint outline of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in this class.
Miss Anderson.
Mrs. Phillips' raised voice interrupted my train of thought. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she noticed that I was spacing out. Yes, ma'am.
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Oh, I think I read about that in the textbook last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula.
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Anderson. It followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know me by my first name, but rather by my surname. No doubt, since the surname was the trademark of the internationally famous philanthropic Anderson Family Toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch in the shoulder.
Kick ass, girl.
From beside me, I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapprovals of Suzu's choice of words.
She means good job.
Miss Kipini,
Oi!
care to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named Black and Scholes. Fisher Black and Myron Scholes.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
Show off. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi had scooted their desks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on groups, we always joined together in our little trio. It was the sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity to stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were the most comfortable around each other than, say, compared to being around any other classmate. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on and rolled it open onto the 3 desks. They were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there. Although, after working on making the poster a bit prettier, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She lightly tapped a pencil against her chin, staring intently at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Susie straightened up and looked at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened and she spoke up.
How about a company name?
Huh? Did we really skip over that?
Of course we did. You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our project.
At least we caught it this time. What do we name it?
Not sure. What do you think?
It always came down to me. Whenever there was something that to be named or titled, I was the master of ending decision, even when I didn't want to be.
I like Trinity Corporations.
That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
What do dragons have to do with our project?
What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot.
But our company sells bubble gum.
Who said we can't produce spicy bubble gum?
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
Both of them looked at me expectantly. Even though I wasn't quite sure myself, I didn't really want to choose sides. So if it were up to me, I would say...
Bah, fine. Be lame.
Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what?
As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Huh? Who was that?
Ignore it. It's just Lisette.
I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing at her with her circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in the school. As a result, everyone in the school I knew them. In the center of it all was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh. She was quite the comedian as well. Besides, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was a student that everyone else wanted to be. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had a future laid right out in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew that what she wanted to do right after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it would rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Of course, my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
She sounds like a giant priss that she's making her seem to be, though.
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time. Let's bail.
Oh, geez, she ran out. Jesus. Unsurprisingly, Suzu was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
I wish I was as fast as her getting out of here. Me and you both, Naomi. She gave me a little smile, as if relieved by the fact that I felt the same way as she did.
See? Why can't she just be normal like the two of us?
It's Suzu, Naomi. Think about it.
Very true.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I do have to admit I was spacing out. And just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
Despite this, they both burst into laughter. Normally, anyone would think the opposites like them would never ever associate with each other. But even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personalities that didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool.
All right, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
You do like spicy food after all. Jesus, I keep going so fast. After we entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me.
Oh, that sounds like
That's
me.
my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy!
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
These sound like low-key like my best friends, actually. I think I'll go with mac and cheese and soda. Yeah, that sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig up into the food. Susie laid her back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her
All
food.
right then. Is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know. Let's talk about...
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? Not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
True.
That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, it wasn't really about wanting a relationship, but more as there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I was an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. You hear that? That's my cousin. I'm sorry. I just can't control the child. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafeteria started up an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
Funny enough, something did happen. And it certainly was no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by the rolling thunder now, and then the skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speech ended that I finally was able to raise my head. A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be a heavy silence. I looked beside me where my father was standing, holding up a large black umbrella for a small little family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth, gray tombstones before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small, only close family were allowed to come. Slowly though the people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit underneath the black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18? That was impossible, yet it was written by my grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end he wouldn't give in. Oh, what a stubborn old man.
Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face. I love her dress. You, sir, you are an asshole.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think I was the appropriate heir for the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
David!
Damn it, David, why are you so rude? Why are you so rude, Dad? Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go on to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa was in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, a void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now I'm the farthest from it, like that one time a long time ago. Grandpa?
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't come here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we should go.
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Ooh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile. I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive, and it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea! I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think it would be the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me eye level with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him, but I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you.
This music is like dope. Just listen to that for a second. Sorry, that was pretty good.
Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can I be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first and then pointed at my chest.
So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading, But as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willed me... Oh, she's crying. You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry, it's hard to stay calm when you left me with so many questions, especially what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave. My vision blurred and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure that it was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Gathering my courage, I decided that it was time to talk. Dad, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into the estate so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes? Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
I'm just saying that maybe we could talk more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
But what if...
Stop mumbling!
But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
He came closer to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better. What was that sound?
Of course I do. Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
I don't even know how I went back. It's like nothing ever happened at all. Like you just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms and erupted in angry laughter.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead while everyone was grieving? While you were holding yourself back from laughing at everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in a graveyard? Oh shit. Oh no. I was hit, I was slapped, I was abused, I was victimized, I was hit. I was hit. A flash of rage crossed his face and he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut!
I feel like crying.
You did not know my father. You did not know what he was capable of.
Stops.
Is everything all right? What happened?
And this woman just comes in like, is everything alright? What happened? Man, your man just hit me. That's what happened. Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs.
Honey, wait.
Now you want to look all sad. You just hit me. Oh my god, I hate this man. I quickly ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants. For a while, I just leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheeks still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up to look in at the mirror and see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. What am I saying? Tears formed in the corners of my eyes, but I blinked them back rapidly. I couldn't cry for the second time today. I had to be stronger than that.
Are you all right? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
I'm fine. I just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though. And I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about me. Mom, I'll come downstairs later to eat.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
Girl, it ain't me. It's your husband. Your husband hit me. I wanted to tell her. A part of me was screaming to tell her what Dad had done. At the same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything because, besides, I was moving out regardless. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past.
Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything to get my mind off of what just happened. Anything that would be better than thinking about the pain still radiating from my cheek. Alright guys, I'm going to end this here. I hope you enjoyed. We will continue to see how Mika's abusive father handles this situation. I low-key want to push him down a flight of stairs and shove that teddy bear down his throat because he hit me. So yeah, if you guys like this gameplay and want me to continue, give this video a like and comment down below what your favorite part of this was, even though this was really sad. So yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye!